it's a lot heavier than I thought.
I need you to put that down.
Oh.
So, are we gonna do an interview or something? Is this it?
Yeah, let's sit down. That wasn't awkward. Hey everyone, welcome to a very awesome Partners Project. I'm so excited to be with Damien from OK Go. And of course, OK Go has really revolutionized the way musicians and artists use YouTube to release their music and videos.
We've been very lucky, had a good time.
How would you describe your videos?
You could describe the sort of like the through line to them sort of aesthetically, like what they look like. There's a lot of one-take videos.
Everybody needs to sleep at night. Everybody needs a crutch.
There's a lot of sort of like experiential things where what you see is the band actually having an experience rather than sort of a bunch of set up sort of advertisements of experiences. The sort of through line to most of the things we've made is that like hopefully there is people watch it with a sort of sense of like how do they do that or why do they do that or like wow humans are weird, you know, like this is exciting that somebody like spent all this effort to make something just that would like make us happier for a few minutes.
You know, obviously music videos have always been a big part of releasing your music. But I mean, how did you get started on YouTube?
We got started on YouTube when Chad wrote us an email saying, "We've seen your video around the internet. You should put it on this thing we got called YouTube." I actually like found the email recently.
Really?
Yeah. We had been making home videos, and one of them had sort of gone crazy on, I think it was iFilm that preceded YouTube. I think that was its biggest platform, and literally Chad wrote to us being like, "You should put this on our site." So we did.
And what video is this?
It was called A Million Ways. It was a video of us dancing in my backyard, that backyard. We had come up with this a ridiculous dance routine to do during our live shows because, you know, rock shows can be so full of rules in this weird way. I mean, it's supposed to be this like rebellious, like joyful time, and yet it so often is like the band stands up there like smoking their cigarettes and being cool, and the audience like, you know, stands down there smoking their cigarettes and being cool. Although now you can't smoke in most rock clubs, but back then you could, and everyone would just like be cool all the time. And so we wanted to do something that forced people to get with it or get out, kind of. You know, we would drop our instruments and break into a choreographed dance. Which was such a shockingly uncool thing to do at a rock show, but so fun that people that sort of had to decide whether or not they were like gonna invest, like they're like, I'm gonna have fun tonight, or be like, whoa, this is not cool. So got a few 100,000 downloads, which was huge.
Yeah, then.
Yeah, it was massive. I mean, we figured, okay, we've saturated, like we clearly have really nerdy fans who spend all day sitting at their computers. That's as many people as we'll ever reach that way, but we might as well make them something else. If they love that so much, we should at least make if we have this direct contact where we don't have to go through all these ridiculous middlemen, then let's just make something for them. We'll spend a week making them a new video of some kind. And we went to my sister's house, came up with a treadmill routine, a dance on treadmills. And the first day we put it online on YouTube, it got like, I think it was 600,000 or 800,000 hits, you know, almost 1 million in a day. And it was like, you could feel the ground shifting, you know, it's a very different world all of a sudden.
I know you were seeing, I guess, the future of where things are.
No, that was, I mean, it was the part that was not seeing the future is that musicians have never wanted to have to like take the round peg of the thing you made and like cram it through the square hole of your record label so that they can cram it through the triangular hole of commercial radio so that they can cram it through the star-shaped hole of MTV. And if you're lucky enough to get something through all those middlemen, it's so rare that it still feels like it represents you, and it still feels like a piece of art, and it still feels like what you want to tell the world. So by 2004 or 5 or 6, it was already pretty clear that like the big industry machine was sinking fast, and that there were new ways opening up for people to directly get contact with their fans, you know?
So you decided to upload that video without telling your label?
Yeah, our label actually had knew the video existed, and the head of digital affairs type person had, without our knowledge, planned a big rollout for it. That big rollout was to post it on stupidvideos.com. And our guitar tech at the time was a big stupidvideos.com fan apparently, and he was like, "Hey, you guys are on Stupid Videos." We checked it and freaked out because it was like, this is not really how we want to be rolled out.
Yeah.
Stupidvideos.com. Luckily, we got to them quickly and they took it down. And about a month later, it seemed time, so we put it on YouTube. The label didn't know we were putting it there, and actually, I think technically it was illegal for us to do so because they own the rights to the music and blah 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 blah. They were kind enough not to sue us after it got a few million hits in a week or two.
The Rube Goldberg machine. What inspired the idea?
I just wanted to make a Rube Goldberg machine. I put a job posting online looking for 1 or 2 engineers. I said we want to employ 1 or 2 engineers for a month, maybe a month and a half to make a big Rube Goldberg machine.
How many takes was it? How long did it take to get that final video product?
89 takes. And I think we had a real film crew for 3 or 4 days plus 3 months of building, and it was a very big logistical project that lasted 6 months. But
how do you come up with an idea like that? Your videos are so creative. What's your process?
We don't start with a song and try to make an advertisement for it. If you just think of I want to make a 3-minute movie set to my music, that's a totally different thing than how am I going to make this crazy thing that's going to get us lots of promotion and get on MTV. And so we've been lucky enough to have enough success with making these video art projects that we don't have to think that way anymore. They are their own endpoint. We make them for the sake of making them, and hopefully they promote the music, and hopefully the music promotes them, and hopefully the shows promote the album, and the album promotes the video.
It's like a 360, all the pieces of the puzzle.
Yeah, it's sort of like when people ask about videos promoting the music, I sort of feel like that's like writing a song to promote the plastic disc it comes on. It's like you make stuff because you want to make stuff, and if you're lucky enough to live right now, those things can all sort of feed into the same machine. You don't have to differentiate one as the real value and the other as advertisement.
This is a new model for how you release your music?
The change from value being generated by people not being able to get to something they want, having to pay their way in, to something where everything is available, and what generates value is that people have found it and collected to it in a more organic and sort of sometimes random way. That's a massive change to the way the world works. There are certain fundamental differences about the way things are distributed, but I think the one that people most quickly overlook is that our methods and our sort of strategies for getting things out there would be useless if the stuff wasn't any good.
Yeah.
The system is less gameable than the old system was.
It's all about content still.
It's all about content, finally.
Do you have any inspirations?
Musically, I feel like I'm much more often inspired by something I've read than another song I've heard. But the truth is, I think that the best things we've made are not things where you start out with an inspiration and you go if you imagine an endpoint, you're sort of already limited to what that endpoint is. We've surprised ourselves and the world much more when we go in with a good set of ideas but no idea what's going to come out the other end, and then just allow for the inefficiency of trying things that are good and then finding things that are better, or trying things that you think are going to be good and they totally suck and you take a different path a little while.
Where do you see this all going in the future?
I hope we get to keep making stuff, and what's been so fun is to watch it go from a very, very confined sort of format and a very rigid system with a lot of controls built into it to something where it's sort of we kind of make our own rules and do things the way we want to. And so our projects have gotten farther from the sort of predefined format. The music videos we make are only loosely music videos in the sense that they don't do anything what videos were supposed to do 10 or 15 years ago. These types of projects, these sort of creative spaces that didn't exist before the internet, where you can sort of have the crossover of all these different types of creativity, that's wildly exciting to me. And I hope that it continues to flourish. The history of culture seems to be that the big controlling machines move in pretty quickly and start making a lot of money off of it, and it gets really hard to make stuff. But right now, it's the Wild West, and anybody who can make something cool can have a career doing it. It's great.
That's awesome. We love that. It's so empowering, and so thank you for sharing your story and all your advice and insight and your process. Cool. Rock on. And thanks to all of you for watching. We could not do what we love doing without your support. Stay tuned next week for another Partners Project.